NetherRealm has a stellar reputation to live up to at this point when it comes to their crossover guest characters, with previous Mortal Kombat games hosting the likes of Freddy Krueger, Jason, Leatherface, and Alien, not to mention the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Injustice 2. Fortunately, Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11 doesn't break this trend of greatness. Terminator is one scary fighter, capable of dealing off-the-charts damage that is appropriately balanced by a subpar neutral game and generally slow attacks. He looks and plays exactly as you would expect him to, even though he might not sound like it.
You are also a Terminator?
First things first, Terminator hurts. A lot. His damage potential is easily in the upper echelon of Mortal Kombat 11's roster, especially if he has his Infiltrator Toss air grab equipped, which is part of his first competitive variation. For one bar, he can do about 36 to 38% damage. Throw in a second bar, that's about 43%. Throw in one of his relatively simple to land crushing blows, and you're looking at nearly 50% of your life terminated in a single combo without even bringing in a fatal blow. What's great is that these combos aren't even all that hard to land, so if you're looking for a character with big, satisfyingly damaging combos without a high technical barrier, Terminator might be your man. Of course, this kind of damage output needs to be tempered somehow, and fortunately Terminator does have a few glaring weaknesses to balance him out. For one, he's very slow and lacks a good far-reaching mid-attack, which means he can be easily outranged by players with a good handle on space control. In addition, his main combo strings are easily beat out by fast attacks, which makes them a little tricky to just throw out in the wild. And while he has a few solid projectiles and a shield that makes him projectile invulnerable, he has a tough time getting in on those intent on keeping him out. He's a character that basically lives or dies by whether he's able to get in close, knock the enemy down, and stay there. Thankfully, he's been given the tools to do just that. To get in, he has a safe on block leaping overhead that knocks the opponent down. Once he's in his comfortable range and is able to put on some wake-up pressure, Terminator is a mix-up machine. Just to give an example, most of Terminator's big damage comes from a low to overhead combo string that can be special cancelled after the first hit into either a command grab or his low-hitting Cyber Rift special move, which also comes equipped on the first competitive variation. Most of what I've talked about so far covers his first competitive variation, but Terminator has some interesting tools on his other variations that change up his gameplay substantially. His second competitive variation revolves around a move appropriately titled the Running Man, which causes Terminator to sprint forward, giving him the option to use either a launch that leads to combos in the corner, a mid-combo ender, an unblockable running command grab, or he can just cancel the run and use it to simply close the distance. It's a variation that trades some of his damage for a bit more of an unorthodox playstyle. His third variation is even wilder than that, giving him a brand new mechanic in the form of a pair of grenades. One grenade can be enhanced to pop an opponent up for a combo, and the other grenade is unblockable and causes a lengthy debuff that prevents the opponent from using their meter, which is huge because it not only prevents the enhanced special moves, but it also removes the ability to use get-up attacks and rolls when on the ground. The catch is that Terminator can only carry 2 grenades at a time, and once he runs out, he needs to wait a couple of seconds before they come back to him. Each variation offers an interesting trade-off, and while I personally prefer the simplicity and high damage of his first variation, there's a lot to like across the board. Beyond his competitive variations, it's also worth noting that one of Terminator's moves is wholly unique, in that if it's equipped, it will cause him to shed his human skin, exposing his metallic endoskeleton once his health dips below about 10%. It's a purely gimmicky move, but at least it's a very cool gimmick. The only real downer about the Terminator is that while he looks spectacular, his voice just feels off.
Your mask, what's its purpose?
Take it from me and I'll tell you.
All right.
He may be modeled after Arnold Schwarzenegger's face, but it's not actually him doing the voice behind it. The impression isn't that strong to start, but every line also feels like it's read with the exact same monotone delivery.
Our objective is unchanged. Skynet has confirmed. Humanity's termination will commence.
But Arnold didn't say every single line in the movies with the same rhythm and cadence. He was a machine, but he could still pass as an actual person. Terminator is yet another strong DLC addition to Mortal Kombat 11's growing roster. How much you enjoy him will really depend on how well you're able to overcome his many glaring weaknesses in order to utilize his crazy high damage output and mix-up potential. NetherRealm did a fantastic job on just about everything from a visual point of view as well, with special attention to detail paid to Terminator's endoskeleton, which you can actually see during fatalities and fatal blows. His voice work leaves a lot to be desired, but all in all, the T-800 does right by the movies and Mortal Kombat alike. For more Mortal Kombat 11 DLC, check out our reviews for Nightwolf and Shang Tsung. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
Fatality. The Terminator wins.